are we not from nature? Are all humans not from? We are nature. We are. Is even technology is nature in some way of thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
And so you can try to control it. You can try to control what people do, but it's gonna do it. That control is like part of a process. It's like people may try to even adopt an attitude of a rebellion for a while and then see the results of that. You know, some people just don't try to even frame it in any way. You've got no part of this and just do what they want. And then everyone's going to arrive at their own conclusions, man. Whatever it is how it's supposed to be, because we are all nature.
Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers, James and Justin, back again with another reaction video. And in this one, we are going to take a look at the mythology of Lilith, apparently the first wife of Adam. You know, this is a mythological story, but you could throw mythological on top of many, religious stories from the past. Whether or not there's any truth or validity to any of this, it's up to you to decide at home.
Just a couple of man's take on whoever this Lilith is. Just kidding.
We did a reaction video like a few days ago on a music video entitled Lilith. So I was like, man, I want to know more about that story. So I found this video, and it's just going to give a little bit of a history on Lilith.
And we're going to try to be as respectful as possible, because maybe I'm just assuming this, but I get the sense that some people take this story actually pretty seriously.
Yeah.
And so we got respect for everybody's belief here.
Yeah.
At our core. And so,
yeah. So this is done by a YouTube channel called See You in History. So let's get right into it. Lilith.
We all have heard of Adam and Eve, who according to the Bible were the first couple of human beings created by God. But an ancient Jewish myth contests that Eve was the first woman. This myth states that before Eve there was another woman, Lilith. Unlike Eve, who came from Adam's rib, Lilith emerged from clay along with Adam. Since she was created by God in the same way as Adam, Lilith did not submit to her husband's commands because she thought she was equal to him and did not accept Adam's domination.
The non-submissive woman, let's put horns on her head, and snakes and skulls beside her.
To be honest, this is part of Jewish myth?
That's what he said at the beginning of the video.
Okay, this is like an important piece of the puzzle in my opinion, because of course, it is weird when you think about, wait a sec, wouldn't Adam have emerged from Eve if everything made perfect sense? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, as the story goes, like he was saying, that it was God made Adam from clay to begin with.
But even more sense than, wait a minute, wouldn't Adam have come from Eve? Even more sense than that is that God would have made two people equal. You know what I mean? It's almost like there's two drastically different narratives there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it depends what type of a message you need to be in order to make your culture work at the time. I have a feeling that there's
how unnatural is it to be
you submit to this one.
Right.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Lilith and Adam inhabited the Garden of Eden, but Lilith's rebellion put her in a situation where she was forced to choose between submitting to her husband or leaving the Garden of Eden. Lilith was not willing to give up her independence.
Those look like alien creatures. Look at that art piece. Looks like
Geiger.
Aliens.
She opted to leave Adam and the Garden of Eden behind. The first woman ever created went into exile and settled herself near the Red Sea. God sent angels in an attempt to convince Lilith to return to the Garden of Eden, but she turned her back on God. Without his wife, Adam started to feel lonely. God, seeing that he was struggling with loneliness, decided to create a new woman for him, Eve. Due to her decision to reject the Creator, Lilith was demonized. She was now considered a woman-shaped demon. In her demonic shape, she would have the power to instigate disease in newborn children. And, to protect children from evil, the babies were given amulets with the names of the angels who tried to take Lilith back to Eden.
So, serious moment here. Have you seen the documentary Keep Sweet?
No, it's
I think it's on Netflix, and it's about like a real life cult that happened around, I think, the late 80s, 90s, maybe even into the 2000s, and they were polygamous, and they really tried to indoctrinate these young girls, like, so many of their rules were about like keeping women in line, so that they can, guys, don't worry, guys, we'll deal with them, but like women, you gotta stay in line.
Yeah.
And these guys would try to like keep their women in line. So it's not like people don't do things to try to control people.
Yeah.
We are being controlled to some degree. People try to indoctrinate people, give them rules, and it's from heaven. You gotta listen. Hey, I don't care either way, but the rules are these are the rules.
Yeah.
Fall in line. So just I think that's important to keep in mind when you're listening to this story about like what happened to Lilith here. Like this way they're painting Lilith. Well, she tried to do things on her own, and now she's this
she's a demon, and she's got horns on her head, and
but I think it's important not to go crazy too, and like go out and get try to embody something that's a myth.
Yeah.
It's fodder for thought. But anyway, do whatever you want to do. I guess I don't want to stop anybody from being them.
These stories affirm that Lilith was jealous of the happy life Adam and Eve led in paradise, and, as an act of revenge, she assumed the shape of a serpent and tricked Eve, forcing her and Adam to taste the forbidden fruit, which caused the couple to be expelled from the paradise. Lilith's story is quite well known, yet this version is not present in the Christian Bible, and it is rejected by both Catholics and Protestants. The version in which she would have been Adam's first wife is found in the Syriac alphabet text. The date of the writings is unknown, but it is believed that they were created already in the medieval era. The myth of Lilith is found in Hebrew, Babylonian, Sumerian, and Assyrian mythology. The figure of Lilith in Mesopotamia was seen as an evil deity, or, when associated with the moon, she was regarded as a goddess with different phases and therefore different moods. That way, she could be seen as a fertility goddess, but also as a devilish figure. There are theories that state that Lilith's absence from the Bible was created during the councils that defined the canonical books that would constitute the Bible as we know it today. The figure of Lilith as an independent and strong woman would go against the patriarchal structure, one of the cornerstones of the Judeo-Christian culture. For this reason, Lilith was embraced by the feminist movement. She is often regarded as the first feminist. The movement claims that Lilith was unfairly demonized, like most women in our history who have attempted to defy the patriarchy. Whether as a demonic figure or as a symbol of women's struggle, Lilith's story is still the subject of much interest.
I don't know. Part of me sees this story as a way to kind of like just control the narrative at the time. To be like, see, the good women, they submit to their husbands, and you don't want to be like Lilith. And look what happened to her. She became jealous of the family unit. But like you said, you don't want to go too far the other way. But I understand. You remember Lilith Fair? Remember the Sarah McLachlan Lilith Fair? Yeah. I wonder
that song about chocolate.
Sarah
McLachlan always sung this, your love is better than chocolate. It's like a bunch of women.
Yeah.
Lilith Fair. And it's just, I guess we're just uncomfortable man children that we're even, giggling at that. But the thing is, are we not from nature? Are all humans not from, we are nature. We are. Yeah. Even technology is nature in some way of thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
And so you can try to control it. You can try to control what people do, but it's going to do it. That control is like part of a process. It's like people may try to even adopt an attitude of a rebellion for a while and then see the results of that. Some people just You don't try to even frame it in any way. You got no part of this, and just do what they want. And then everyone's going to arrive at their own conclusions, man. Whatever it is how it's supposed to be, because we are all nature. So whatever is happening, and that sucks. And I got to eat my own medicine on that, because sometimes I don't enjoy things, and sometimes it's tough.
Sometimes,
am I making any sense? What am I doing?
Yeah. Well, sometimes you test the narrative of the time.
Yeah.
And it works out or it doesn't work out. And
both somehow. I don't know.
Yeah. It's, and like you said, it's going to be what it's going to be.
Interesting.
But more than anything, it's kind of a fascinating story. If you're locked into a bubble and you've only heard one story, just the original Adam and Eve story, I always love these little like side stories that like come out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, isn't there ones
you've
where
never heard before? And you're like, what?
Yeah,
I didn't hear. And like apparently, like it said even in that video that when they were like putting the canon together, which is the Bible, they like opted not to put that in there.
A little bit of editing in that process.
So like but how much of that is true too? Again, so the many facets. But anyway, we've rambled on long enough on this one. It was good. If you like this video, folks, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share with a friend, and everybody until next time.
Stay spiritual if you feel comfortable.